It has been a busy week in the courts. Orange Osceola State Attorney Aramis Ayala filed a lawsuit against Governor Rick Scott this week, but today several civil rights groups filed what's called an amicus brief with the Florida Supreme Court in support of Ayala. This all stems from her controversial announcement to not seek the death penalty in any case. So to break this all down for us, we welcome our legal expert and attorney Stephen Kramer back to News 6.
Glad to be here. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Okay, so Stephen, now that we have this amicus brief that was filed today, what exactly is that?
Sure. This is kind of an interesting lawsuit. It's multifaceted. There's a case pending with the Florida Supreme Court. There's also a federal lawsuit filed. An amicus brief is what happens when you've got somebody who's not a party to the lawsuit. So it's not Governor Scott, it's not Aramis Ayala, it's somebody not in the lawsuit, but they go ahead and file a brief with the court as a friend of the court to bring information to the court's attention. And that's what's happening here.
Okay, do you expect more of these to be filed? We know that there are a lot of family members of victims who, clearly do not support her decision. Could they file an amicus brief as well?
You better believe it. And this is one of those that's interesting because we have heard a lot from Aramis Ayala's camp. There's been press releases. There's been a lot of commentary on it. We've heard very little from the governor and very little from the attorney general right now. So they're getting ready for their move, and when they do, you're going to see a response in each of these courts, and then you're probably going to see some more commentary, press releases, and then potential briefs from other parties.
How does the Supreme Court view these amicus briefs? Do they hold much weight?
Well, certainly the court considers them, and they can be persuasive. I mean, they can be very persuasive. But at the end of the day, the court's going to look at all the evidence, all of the papers and motion and memoranda filed with the court, and they're going to make the call based on all those different factors.
You said there's actually two lawsuits right now, one in the federal courts, one in state courts. But basically, one of her premises is that the governor is violating the U.S. Constitution by depriving voters in this district of their right to choose a state attorney.
Well, frankly, the move that she made in bringing the federal lawsuit was creative because at first glance, this lawsuit and these issues looked like state issues. They looked like issues that should have been dealt with only by the Supreme Court. In filing a federal lawsuit, basically what she's seeking to show is that Governor Scott, in his actions, deprived voters of their choice. And the other thing she's trying to say is that the governor overstepped his bounds and basically removed her in violation of her due process. And what we're going to get here is frankly, important determination from the court as to what is the scope and authority of the governor in removing constitutional officers and in running the executive branch, and exactly what is prosecutorial discretion. And that's what the court's going to be looking at here.
Because the state constitution does not say she must seek the death penalty. It just says she has the authority to seek the death penalty.
Well, that's right, and that's the whole debate here, But in saying she wasn't going to pursue the death penalty at all in any case, did she go ahead and break her constitutional oath of office? That is going to be the governor's angle there. That's what he's going to try to pursue. Now, regardless of what happens here, you may see more political maneuvering within the legislature and the governor's office. It may not end here. Right now, what we've got is unilateral action by the governor to remove Aramis Ayala from office, but we may yet see the legislature and the governor act in concert. And if that happens, it's going to place her in a much more difficult position to advance some of these arguments.
Okay, and real quick, I know we wanted to...
I know you predicted the United Airlines lawsuit that we just talked about just a few minutes ago.
It's nice to be right sometimes. It's easy to Monday morning quarterback, but it's nice to be right.
Be smart for them to just go ahead and settle that thing, though, and get it.
I've heard that they have not contacted the victim's family at all yet. Frankly, I'm surprised. There was an opportunity to avoid this whole scenario. If they'd bid up that price to potential passengers willing to get off that plane, they might have avoided this whole fiasco. I'm surprised they haven't already nipped this in the bud and settled this. So this is just more bad publicity. This is just more press. This is just stretching it out.
All right, Stephen Kramer, thank you so much. We got to run, but we appreciate your insight as always.
Thank you, guys.
All right.